The magician visually vanishes and produces a pen. The pen disappears into thin air. And the pen vanishes and reappears multiple times. The pen visually changes colour, and the pen changes into a coin. The magician picks up a pen, vanishes it instantly, and then reproduces it. Everything is examinable. For this trick, you're going to need a single pen. Take the pen and hold it between your first finger, middle finger, and thumb, as you can see on the screen. Extend your middle finger slightly and pull back on the pen. This move is called the flip stick. Practice this often and the pen will fly back into your hand. Now just do this move under the cover of your other hand. The pen will appear to vanish. To reproduce the pen again, use your thumb to push it back out, and the pen will fly back out and it will be produced under the cover of your other hand. The magician takes a pen and vanishes it multiple times. This move is a more advanced but still quite easy variation of the flip stick. Practice the flip stick. Once you're comfortable with it, press the pen against your other thumb to build up pressure. Release your thumb and the pen will spring back into your hand. Once you've practiced this enough, it will be very easy and almost impossible to spot. Turn your wrist downwards to hide the pen even more. To produce the pen, move your thumb backwards and push it outwards and the pen will spring back out. You can produce it from your other hand, which makes the trick even more deceptive. The magician takes a pen and cleanly shows it. He puts that pen into his pocket. He then produces another pen and puts that pen into his pocket. He then produces yet another pen, and that one too goes into his pocket. The magician keeps producing pens, and the spectator doesn't know where they're coming from. The magician then takes the final pen, vanishes it, and reproduces it. This trick requires two pens. Clip the first pen under your thumb and use your fingers to hide it from the spectators in front of you. Take the second pen and hold it between your first finger, middle finger, and thumb. Practice flicking this pen backwards by extending your middle finger slightly and pulling back on the pen in the flip stick move. Practice this until it's fast. To begin the trick, display the second pen at your fingertips. Bring your left hand over the second pen and perform the flip stick move. Now produce the first pen and pretend to put it into your pocket, when in reality it's still clipped to your thumb. Keep practicing this move and it will look as if you're producing pens at your fingertips. The final vanish is just a flip stick vanish that I taught you earlier on in this video. The magician produces a pen from nowhere. This trick is primarily meant for the camera. Place the pen behind your thumb and let it rest on your chest. From the right angle, people in front of you cannot see that the pen is hiding there. Display both hands empty and then pull the pen into vision. It will look as if you produced the pen from thin air. The magician has a pen in between his hands and it begins to hover. This is a very simple illusion. Simply place the pen in between both thumbs and cover it using your fingers in front of you. Wiggle your thumbs slightly and it will look as if the pen is hovering. The magician takes a pen and instantly vanishes it. Practice doing the flip stick move that I taught earlier. The pen will spring back into your hand. Then using your first finger, push the pen backwards and it will fire down into your lap. You need to perform this move while sitting down at a table. This is called lapping. The pen will appear to vanish. The magician takes a pen and vanishes it instantly. This trick also requires you to lap the pen. However, it is done in a slightly different way. Practice slamming both hands together in a clapping motion. Whilst you do this, move your hands backwards and quickly release pressure on the pen. This will cause the pen to fall backwards and down into your lap. Make sure that you don't move your hands all the way backwards or it becomes obvious what you are doing. Instead, begin with your hands close to the edge of the table, so you only have to move them backwards slightly to lap the pen. The magician vanishes and reproduces a pen. This is another variation of the flipstick move. Simply hold the pen between your first finger, middle finger and thumb. Move your middle finger backwards and pull the pen back into your hand as I taught you earlier. Now simply do this as you wave your hand over the pen, and the pen will appear to vanish and be reproduced. The magician takes a pen and then turns the pen into a coin and then back into a pen. He displays his hands empty. This trick requires a coin and a pen. Place the coin into the finger palm by putting it just above the base of your fingers, which curl around it. Practice using the flipstick move to then pull the pen backwards. As you pull the pen back, produce the coin from finger palm. This creates the illusion that the pen is transformed into a coin. Display the coin cleanly and then place it back into finger palm whilst you flick the pen back into view using your thumb. You can even display both your hands empty at the end if you keep the coin in finger palm. At full speed, the trick looks like this. The magician has a pen and vanishes it and shows both his hands empty. This is a multiple vanish routine. Perform a normal flipstick vanish, then in your empty hand push all your fingers together and rotate your wrist. Your thumb will push the pen back into this hand and then display that hand completely empty. This creates the illusion that the pen is in neither hand. Simply reverse this move as many times as you like and both hands will appear empty. This is what it looks like at full speed. You have to really practice flicking the pen back as fast as you can, as this trick requires a lot of speed and skill. The magician changes the colour of a pen multiple times. This trick requires two of the same model of pen, each a different colour. To begin, you need to practice the flipstick in both hands. Make sure you can vanish and produce the pen in both hands as I taught earlier. Once you're very quick at this, the actual trick is quite simple. Begin by placing one pen hidden in your left hand as shown and the other displayed horizontally. Flick back the horizontal pen and at the same time produce the hidden pen. This will create the illusion that the pen just switched colours. Now simply reverse what you did. Repeat this as many times as you like, and it will appear as if the pen is changing colours. This trick will require a lot of practice, so make sure you practice this multiple times in front of the mirror. The magician takes a pen and removes its cap. He places the cap into his hand and then vanishes it. He then reaches into the air and produces the cap. The vanishing cap is one of my favourite tricks. Take the cap off the pen and cradle it into your hand as shown. Use your other hand to tap it down into your hand slowly. On the third tap, use your middle finger to push the cap forward and this will pivot it into your hand as shown. This creates the illusion that you've pushed the cap into your hand, but in reality, it's been held in finger palm in your other hand. This is a really deceptive illusion that you can do anytime, anywhere. To produce the cap, simply pluck it out of the air by letting it fall onto your fingers from finger palm,